I want to talk about this black man podcast sector for a moment. And I want to push some of my viewers aside. I know I have some viewers that may be white, some that may be Latina. You welcome to sit in the room because I know this is all social media. Can't control what any of you watch. But I want to have this sidebar conversation when it comes to the men in my community that's on the internet creating a level of toxic divisiveness that's in my community, that's in our community. Men that look like me. And we have to talk about how a lot of these podcasts have really set us back. How a lot of specifically men with these podcasts have set us back. And the denigration of black women that created their platforms to thrive off of the oppression of black women. When we talk about whether you want to refer to it as manosphere, red pill, or whatever, a lot of black men got to understand that you have created an ungodly culture. You have weaponized black masculinity to oppress black women. And we got to have this conversation. We got to have this conversation. And it's going to get so real, I had to take my glasses off. Okay? Because if we want to talk about the history of this country and our freedom fighters, they wouldn't agree with you. With a lot of today's black men, how a lot of you be online trolling black women and bashing black women constantly. The spirit of Malcolm X wouldn't agree with you. The spirit of Fred Hampton wouldn't agree with you. Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, okay, James Baldwin, all of our freedom fighters, they wouldn't agree with you. Black Panther Party, they wouldn't agree with you with the way a lot of you black men today bash and criticize black women. And you disguise it as in holding black women accountable. Holding women accountable. They wouldn't agree with you, black man. And I know all of you don't do that, but enough of you, a huge portion of you engage in online or just even in real life degradation of black women and denigration of black women. A lot of you engage into that. Because like I say, Malcolm X wouldn't agree with you, because if these men were alive today, the Frederick Douglasses, Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, all of those men advocated for black women and women's rights, particularly for black women. But what a lot of you men are doing online, you're going in the opposite direction. And I got something for y'all, for a lot of y'all men that bash black women on these internet, on these podcasts. How about you do something different? How about instead of complaining about black women, when you going to take a break? When you going to take a break? How about some of you bring your ex-wife on your podcast? Since women are just so bad, bring your ex-wife on your podcast. Let her have a segment, a 10, 15-minute segment, and let her tell her side of the story of what she had to deal with. Let her tell us about how you were emotionally unavailable, how you was constantly into this narcissistic behavior, gaslighting, abusive. Let your ex-wife tell us her side of the story. Bring your ex-girlfriend, bring your ex-fiance, and let them talk. And let us hear the real truth. Okay? Since women are just so bad. I got something better for you. How about you bring your deadbeat father on your podcast, right? Since black women, you want to talk about black women being single moms and how they destroyed the community, bring your deadbeat father on your podcast and hold him accountable. Talk crazy to him. Whenever he says something that you don't agree with, cut him off. Like how you cut some of these black women off when they trying to talk. Whenever your deadbeat father say something, well, I wasn't in your life because I was, dealing with my own struggles. No, I don't want to hear that, Dad. I needed you. You the reason why I don't know myself. You the reason why I struggle with masculinity. You the reason why I struggle with my identity. You the reason why I don't have a relationship with my kids with these deeply rooted issues within me. You the reason why I can't keep a woman. I don't know how to navigate and operate in unity with a black woman. You the reason why, Dad. You the reason why. When you gonna bring your deadbeat father on your podcast, huh? Y'all don't want to do that though. I got something even better for you. Bring one of the Proud Boys on there. Since you so gung ho, you a proud black man and you're alpha black man. Bring one of the Proud Boys on your podcast, huh? Bring one of those Aryan brothers, the skinheads, on your podcast. KKK Grand Wizard. Hold them accountable for institutionalized racism and white supremacy, huh? Why don't you do that? When you gonna whine and cry about that, huh? I got something for you. How about you bring one of these sellout black politicians that go in these town hall meetings and in these office meetings and sell us out and agree to these demonic laws that oppress our communities. But they come out there in blackface. But behind closed doors, they sell us out. When you gonna do that? But you're not. A lot of you are cowards. And bashing black women is easy. You like to pew pew at the point blank range, at the easy target. If you want to get your followers up and you want to get some likes and subscribers as a black man, what you want to do? Get on the internet, bash black women with these daycare center podcasts, with the lullaby music in the background playing. And a lot of y'all men sitting there watching it like it's Barney or Bananas in Pajamas, sitting there Indian style, yay, as they bash black women. And that's why I say Fred Hampton, the Black Panther Party, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, James Baldwin will be ashamed of how a lot of you black men act. Be ashamed. But see, y'all don't want real unity. Y'all want control and power over your woman. A lot of y'all black men, you sound like dictators. You don't sound like a lover. You sound like a fighter that want to fight black women. And y'all get on these internet every day, or y'all wake up in the morning and y'all look in the mirror, you put your Rambo paint on, just with your frown on your face, with your war paint under your eye, ready to go to war against women, black women. Instead of going to war against the man in the mirror. You don't want to sit down with a therapist that's going to check you and that's going to tell you about yourself. You don't want to get you a life coach that's going to gather you all the way together and that's going to tell you, look, man, you need to get your life together, your health, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to step your game up. You're not going to get you a mentor, a man that's going to touch base with you every other day. Hey, man, what's going on with the progress? What's this? What's that? Following up with your small goals and stuff. You're not going to do that. But you'll do what's easy. Bully a black woman. And y'all try to hide behind this whole movement of men that's going their own way or black men that's waking up. But I get it. It's okay to be a woke or a black man that's being aware of your value. But you don't have to bash black women just to find your value as a black man. That ain't that necessary. And a lot of you men have daughters. And it's this one guy, I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to give him credit, but this is how I know his content is specifically geared to bash black women. You bring black women on your show as a majority, to talk about black women not being good enough to date and marry and all this other stuff, black women being single moms, just demonizing black women for being single moms, but in your personal life, you got you a whole white woman that's a single mom. We got to talk about that. So why are you talking about that? Why are you talking about black women being single moms, but it's okay for you in your personal life to be with a white woman that's a single mom? What makes her different? What makes her better? And I'm not here to bash interracial dating or interracial marriage, but what I have a problem with and what I'm here to criticize is black men that denigrate black women in a way to uplift other races of women. Just because you got you a white woman or you got you a Latino woman or whatever. That's what I don't like. Bashing black women just to elevate and make a different group of women feel better and more secure. I don't like that old dirty dumpster sellout raccoon behavior. I'm not here to play with you. This ain't no echo chamber. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And this is nothing but the truth and the whole truth. Because black women, they've had it hard, the hardest and the roughest out of any other group of women. Yeah, women, all women had it bad, but no other woman in this lifetime has had it this bad as black women. They already had to deal with the fact that they're women. That's a biasness of itself. And then on top of that, you dump being a black woman. They're discriminated because of the texture of their hair, workplace biases. Okay, the medical industry give them piss poor treatment when it comes to the mortality rate of black women versus the other demographics of women. Black women got to deal with the mortality rate of 3 times higher of losing their life in giving birth to the child of your son or your daughter. Okay? Over 100,000 black women missing. Okay? Over 100,000 black women missing. When y'all gonna have smoke for that? When y'all gonna whine and cry about that? Huh? But you get on these podcasts and you talk about black women for being single moms, shaming black women for their success, which is stupid. Because in the meantime, and to further notice, in the meantime of a woman coming into a man coming into a woman's life, what is a woman supposed to do anyway? So until further notice, black women, get your education, get your degree, do what you need to do. Don't let no crybaby a black man with a pacifier in his mouth shame you and pocket watch you and shame you for your success. Got too many men on the internet with pacifiers in their mouth and sippy cups on their desk whining about women. Whining and crying. And that's why I say Charmin and Kleenex need to start giving out sponsorship deals to you crybaby men, dude. I need to start seeing Charmin and Kleenex boxes on these podcast desks besides microphones. Because the way y'all cry and the snot running from your nose, you could really market Charmin and Kleenex very well. So yeah, I just pitched that a sponsorship idea. But I just want to let y'all know, man, on this type of behavior, our freedom fighters of black men that came before us, they would be disappointed in how a lot of you men look down and use your level of masculinity of today, 2025, of blackness, male masculinity. You use that to oppress your own demographic of women. You're doing the work of Satan. You're doing the work of the adversary. Y'all are acting like as if black women wasn't there with us when we was on them plantations, losing our lives, them nursing us back to health, getting us to help us walk and talk and feed ourselves again. That's what black women was doing on these plantations when black men was trying to escape and getting beat halfway to death to scare other black men and black women in line. That's what these black women was doing on these plantations. And taking care of the white babies, nursing them. Huh? Y'all act like black women wasn't there during the civil rights getting spit on and getting beat in water holes with you. Y'all act like it's just, y'all treat it like it's just black men and then everybody else against us. That's not the case. No matter what y'all see online, that's not the case. Because I'm telling you, if you surveyed 1,000 black women and you asked them, hey, what's your preference, black woman, on marriage, on who you would want to marry, overwhelming majority, no matter what a lot of these black women may say online, but the overwhelming majority would choose to be with a black man. And we got to talk about the elephant in the room of black women's loyalty. Black women are so loyal. No matter, and y'all know black women, sometimes they talk and they'll say stuff, well, you know, we got to start checking on these other men. Okay, yeah, you're going to have some black women say that. But for the majority, a lot of these sisters, they want a black man. They want a black man to come home to them. And they want to come home to a black man. Let's just be real. Y'all know black women are emotional and they talk and y'all know I'm right, black women. But we got to start talking about the unity in the community building, man. Because a lot of these podcasts have set us back. And a lot of y'all men on these podcasts, you're doing the work of Satan. You know, we got married black men whining about women, complaining about women, bashing black women. Like I said, I'm not going to say no names. I'm not going to give nobody no credit. But we got married black men on the internet. You married, bruh. You got your whole wife, and you got you a daughter or something, or a son, and you complaining about black women. Why are you even complaining about black women? Focus on your wife. And see, my content, I talk to black women in a way where it's loving. And I'm able, because I know I have daughters. My wife and I, we have 2 daughters and a son together. Okay. I have an elementary age daughter. I have a college age daughter. Okay. And I have a grown woman, a wife. So I'm able to talk to women on different age groups, and I'm able to communicate effectively. And when I'm sharing my output, my input towards women, I'm able to help them navigate some of these relationship ideologies to avoid certain men to look out for. That's what I use my platform for, because I know how men can be. I'm a man. I was once there. I was once a player. I was once one of these men out here running game. So I know what it's like. I'm just being real. But until God renewed me, this is how I became the man that I am today. Okay? But I'm able to help women to be aware of certain type of men that's out here running game and they're not serious. And if you can't approach this thing with love and talk to women, black women with love on top of the things that they've already gone through, bruh, you get out of the way and stop being another hurdle. Stop being another hurdle. I was looking at this picture a while back on the internet where they had, it was this picture where it was this black man and it was showing a whole bunch of hurdles, like obstacles in front of him, what racism looks like in front of black people. And it had like an alligator pit, it had like a snake pit, it had like different scenarios in front of him, but everybody else had like a regular lane and they had no barriers in front of them. They could just go. But the black man, he had to hurdle over the alligator. He had to hurdle over the lion. He had to hurdle over the snake pit. He had to hurdle over a bunch of spikes and thorns and stuff. That's what y'all are doing, black man. You are an adversary. A lot of you are an adversary to black women. You are another hurdle, a roadblock that black women got to overcome. And y'all don't even realize this. We got to talk about it. A lot of our ancestors will be disappointed. A lot of our male ancestors, our freedom fighters that fought for that supported women, they will be disappointed. They will be rolling over in their grave to see what a lot of y'all black men are doing. And what's sad is, if Fred Hampton was alive today, okay, if Malcolm X was alive today, Martin Luther King and all of our other freedom fighters, y'all would refer to them as simps. Y'all would refer to them as simps. With the way that they supported women, black women, you would refer to them as simps. That's how I know it's a sickening. It's sickening. But anyway, I just want to have that conversation. I just want to have that conversation of my level of disappointment. And if you want to refer to this as a crash out or a rant or whatever, you could take it however you want to take it. But black men, we got to do better. And I know it's not all of us. But it's enough of us. And that sector of that enough margin of us that's doing this stuff online is hurting us, because it's setting our daughters up for failure. It's setting our daughters and our sisters and our nieces up for failure, where it's going to be hard for them to get a man. If a lot of these men are walking out here and they're already preset to factory settings of red pill, manosphere, and they all sound like robots, a lot of y'all men don't even have a mind of your own, dude. You sound like a robot. You sound like you came out of a red pill, manosphere factory. Oh my gosh, you modern women, single mothers are no good. All women only want money. You are a gold digger. You hit the wall. Ha ha. Nobody cares about your degree. I don't care about your success. Shut up, bruh. Shut up. All of y'all, a lot of y'all men sound the same. A lot of y'all men sound the same, dude. Like, when you gonna be your own man? Huh? But a lot of y'all men, you looking for your daddy on the internet because the men in your life failed you. The men in your life failed you. But I would like to see that, though, with that sidebar conversation. Instead of bashing black women, Bring a white supremacist on there. Bring your wife on there. Let your ex-wife on there. Let her tell her side. Okay? We would love to hear that. Since women are so bad, let us hear your ex side of the story. So we can really put this thing together. And now we'll all know that a lot of you black men are coming from a place of hurt, coming from a place of deflection, and a place of not being transparent about what you did in the past of your relationships or your marriage that didn't work out, that fell through. Okay? That's what's going on in a lot of our community with these black male podcasters. The lack of transparency. Anyway, y'all have a good one, man. Peace.